Who is the DJ? Who queued up the music?
DJ would be right
You're
back there.
so cool. He was playing one of my songs. That's what he did. Very nice.
These people, they love you, they love you, they love you, and you have so much. You were mentioning, oh my God, I can't even hold myself together up here. You do music, you do movies, you do everything, anything and everything, and it's been touched on and touched so many hearts out there in the crowd. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you started off, how it all began for Juliette Lewis?
Okay, let me tell you what's very moving to do these conventions. My dad is an actor by the name of Jeffrey Lewis. And he was in, because people come up and they'll share stories of him, but he was in Salem's Lot. So he's done a couple horror genre, Rob Zombie's movie. But what's so moving is he did these conventions like 20 years ago. And now they're much more popular, and so when I meet people who tell me about my dad's movies, it just touches my heart because he's not here anymore. And that was my whole introduction to acting is through my dad, because when I was very little, I would visit him on movie sets. So I always knew of that it's a profession and a line of work. I didn't learn about this industry through magazines and that type of stuff. I learned by being on the set.
Firsthand.
Yeah.
And what was your first role, and what was your first big break? What would you consider that big moment where it's like, all right, that's that domino?
Okay, well, big break is different than your first role. The first role I ever did, nobody ever saw. It was in this science fiction movie called Meet the Hollowheads. Oh, he knows it.
Somebody knows.
There's literally at one of these conventions, one person had the VHS, and I was like, what? He saw the movie. This one person. But of course, well, I had two big breaks, and one was Christmas Vacation. Oh, hello over here. And this is so special because this is a movie that plays every year. And every year. And in so many families' homes. And I was 15 years old, and Chevy Chase was very supportive of me. I've had very positive experiences on movie sets. So that was a huge break for me. And then Cape Fear. That was a really big deal. I got nominated for that, and I was 18, and they're doing, I heard they're doing a series, and that should be really exciting.
And you mentioned you were nominated. How was that at the age of 18? You just started your adulthood, and not many can say they were nominated at the age of 18. Like that's such a, almost like such a large responsibility, such a large amount of eyes on you.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming because I was just figuring out my talent and how to express through different characters. I really take what I do seriously. I put everything into it. And when I was nominated for this award, I didn't know what to think. So, because that was confusing for me. Because I didn't come into this business starry-eyed with that idea. I just sort of wanted to, I like playing other people, and I always had a real empathy for all kinds of people. And I pick roles specifically to give a voice to people I haven't seen on screen before. Yeah.
And you're mentioning you pick these roles. Was there a particular role that stands out to you when you think about that specific act and that following through in that way? You saw this script, you read that role, you read that side, and you were like, this, I want this, I'm gunning for this.
This is his outfit. Tell me your costume. Wait, hold on. What is this? Yes. Uh-huh. What?
Kaiju number 8, it's an anime.
Oh, I love it. Oh, he cleans up monster guts. We all need one of those guys around. That's awesome. Wait, I forgot what I was saying.
So, I forgot the question.
Yes, okay,
Hold on.
no. Different characters. So
Right.
here's a crazy story. When I did Cape Fear early on, so I don't audition so much anymore, but you have meetings. But for Cape Fear, they saw like 400 people for this role, and I was the first person they saw for Danielle Bowden, and they couldn't believe that the first person they saw was the part was correct, was the right person for the part. So they kept, thank you. But for like 2 months, I was like, what's taking these guys so long? I should be this role. But they kept looking and looking all over the U.S., and then they came back. They kept bringing, this is De Niro I'm talking about, and Scorsese. They kept bringing me back in to audition, and then I got the part. So that was back in the day when you really had to, you really have to prove yourself. And that movie was very important for me because before that, I had done TV shows in the late 80s, like 1989, and working on a Scorsese set, he was very supportive of the way I act, which is I try to be very natural and I'll make it look like I'm not acting. Right. So it's the compliment when people think I'm the person I'm playing. You know, they think I'm Natalie from Yellowjackets or any one of these characters are the natural born killers. They think I'm going to be crazy. It's a compliment because I'm trying to make people believe I'm not acting at all.
No, and we believed. And you touched on it a little bit in Cape Fear, working with Scorsese. What about working with Robert De Niro? How was it sharing scenes with him?
Yeah, Robert De Niro, my goodness. It was really good because I was younger, so I didn't really know how important these people were in the movie world. I swear I just didn't. So I could just focus on doing a really good job and not being so nervous. But he was very professional and really kind to me, even though he had to play a bad guy. He was the whole set. It was a really positive experience for me. And
this is very retrospective right now. What about your most recent work in Yellowjackets? How do you think you've approached that role differently than you would, for example, Cape Fear?
Oh my gosh! Has anyone seen Yellowjackets yet? Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! Oh my God! It was such a challenging role because, you're telling a story of these girls that have gone through so much pain and trauma, and they all hold secrets. And then, of course, I'm playing a personality who doesn't really like herself, and she's full of addiction and all this. So I never smile in the whole show. It was really challenging. It was hard. And it was right after the pandemic. So, but again, all I want to do a really good job, and I wanted everyone to feel my angst as this personality. So when everyone, the people I've talked to have such a positive experience, and that's really remarkable. I notice no matter how dark the character is, people are able to see that you're portraying somebody, and they give you feedback. I really like that.
People here really, really enjoying that.
And
show
I love my
right
cast. Oh my gosh, I had to say, working with Tawny and Melanie Linsky and Christina Ricci, this was so dreamy for me to work with all these ladies because we all came up of the same time of like the 90s, and to do a series with them was really, really exciting. We all got along really well.
All right. And
well, he's like, how, Missy, come talk to me. Well, listen, she's disturbed. I think it was an accident. Was it?
All right. Well, I see the crowd is a little enthusiastic, so I'll cut away my questions already. Where do we have the mic stand, Mr. Frank? Mic stand is coming up, so if we would like to form a line with Frank right here. Over on the other side, over on the other aisle right here. If you have any questions, Yeah, right over here this way. They'll be bringing out the mic stand right there. You're the front of the line. She's the front of the line. So if you have any questions and you want to head on over, ask them to. All right over here. Yeah, there you go. Making our way over. Ooh, opinionated man on his way.
Wait, where is the microphone?
Microphone is on its way. It's running.
Oh. South
Microphone.
Texas.
Oh, microphone is on the stage. Get out of here. Silly goose. Big thank you to Frank, everybody. Round of applause for Frank. All righty. How you doing? Name and question, please.
Areli, and I wanted to know, when it comes to the show and the Yellowjackets, how much balance did you do? Like, did you work with Sophie to like, what's the balance between the younger character? Do you emulate her, or does she emulate you? Not in, like, you know, like your mannerisms and stuff.
Yes,
like
so she's asking about the younger Sophie, because that was a very unique thing on the show, is that we have actors that are playing our younger versions. And so we were all hired initially first, and then they cast our younger selves. And Sophie and I, it was really special because we would talk about, what kind of music does she listen to? Is she arty? What kind of athlete is she? Because she's a soccer player. And we both thought, all our answers were the same. We didn't even have to try. We just have a similar take on the character. And she said she watched me a little bit, and that was neat. And she also has a very low voice like I do. Look at this little one. He's so bored. It's okay. It can be boring. Wait, what?
If you want to talk into the microphone, right behind you. Right there.
I was watching the movie Companion, and I kept thinking, like, she sounds exactly like Juliette Lewis. It's like,
this Sophie.
like uncanny. Yeah.
She's so special. I'm so glad she's doing all these neat movies and stuff. She's really great. I can't wait to see what she'll do next.
Awesome. Appreciate your question. You can just hand it over to the next person. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Name and question.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I actually got a picture and a signature with you
Yes,
earlier.
did you change your outfit?
Oh, no, the costume's all the way in the back over there, if you see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this big costume. I see
Yeah,
it.
you had asked me about it.
I love these, the conventions with the costumes. I need to dress up more.
Yeah, you had asked me the Gretzko, she copes with heavy metal during the day. Yeah.
Do you know the character? Tell them your character you're playing.
A Gretzko?
A Gretzko. Do you all know this?
Yeah.
I love this story. She told me the character.
Yeah, I had just told you basically she works 9 to 5.
She works 9 to 5. She doesn't like her job, and then she works.
She deals with death metal and heavy metal.
Listens to death metal at her lunch break.
Which is one of my questions, actually, not about your acting, but more your music, because I got really involved with your music. I know that back in the day, the band broke up in 2009. You guys did a revival 2015, and then you did your solo tour 2016. Do you have any thoughts about maybe picking up another tour?
Yeah, so what's happening is I have work coming out, a lot of acting stuff, and all my guys from my Licks band, they're all in other bands, like Offspring, Chevelle, Ages. Mm-hmm. They're in really cool Fuel. But we did a few benefit shows, and I'm probably going to write music for this movie I'm writing.
Yes, let's go.
I mean, it's done. It's been written.
Well, if you can't do like the whole tour with the band, are you considering doing another solo tour?
Well, no, I would always do it with a band. I can't write this moment, but I want to. I'm not done performing live. It's really where I find all my fire is on the stage, and I'm a rock and roller, so you know.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for the question. How you doing? Name and question.
Hi, my name's Marlissa. My question was regarding Yellowjackets. I know you had an abrupt exit. I just wanted to say I really appreciate the way you portray Natalie. She's such a complex character.
Yeah.
But my question was, what's something that you wish would have gone differently in her story?
Oh, I would never say that. I'm just there to serve the writing because they create the story, and so I do my best to make it really exciting with the characterization and how I think this personality would express themselves. But I'm fine with it. TV. So I come from movies where it's a shorter commitment. It's like a month work or 3 months, and this is 6 months. So I'm quite happy to have more time at home, to tell you the truth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How you doing? Name and question.
Hi, my name's Christy, and I just want to say, really big fan. Me and my fiance were really big fans.
Thanks.
Your favorite role, which one is your most favorite role you've ever done?
Oh man, favorite roles they're favorite for different reasons. Like some roles taught me a lot. Like Natural Born Killers, I had never. Thanks. I had never touched a gun before, and so you see that movie. I handle shotguns, 9mm. So I learned. But I learned the skill of it. It's not like it's very professional, and we had like ex-military members like showing us how to use firearms, and then also I learned fight training, and I was just all in. I really liked that movie because the director let me come up with so much stuff. So a lot of that Mallory Knox stuff is from my imagination, and really I wanted to show that a small young female could still carry the fire of like a lion's heart in the jungle.
Thank you.
And be savage.
All right, let's be careful here.
Are you guys know each other? Look out.
You could say that. Very opinionated man here.
Oh, the one who wanted to get misty.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Matias, and I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your talent and your passion with all of us. Like, we all love you. Aww. And I love acting. I just graduated yesterday from an acting program, and I want to ask you, like, what is your go-to techniques when it comes to memorizing a script?
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big deal to finish anything, to like keep going through challenges and then finishing, or even victories to keep going with it. So memorizing dialogue. I like to go over my lines over and over again. So sometimes I write them down, and they sometimes you'll memorize them more when you write them down. And then I just practice with somebody. I'll first look at it, and then I'll start memorizing it. But I do it all day long, even when I'm doing the scene, because some scenes take like 6 hours, some scenes take 2 days. And I never stop rehearsing it, because I find the mind is a funny thing. If you get too relaxed, sometimes things disappear. So I always like to be hyper-focused and in the present moment. And yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for those tips, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Matthias.
How you doing, man? Name and question.
Hi, my name is Saul, and my question is, what was it like working with two legendary directors on the movie From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah. Oh, two legendary directors. That's right. Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. So amazing. And so that was Robert's second movie, was it? Wait, so he did El Mariachi, and then I think Dusk Till Dawn was his first big movie, and Quentin supported him. And say it again. I don't know. I thought Dusk Till Dawn was second, maybe his third movie, but I'm sure the internet will tell us later. But anyway, I just know it was such a big deal, and it was a big epic production, And Quentin, they created this mashup, obviously, of the genres. It was really exciting for me to work with people who are doing wild, adventurous things in cinema. Robert was so badass. He would hold the camera himself. All the vampires. It was like 120 degrees. We were out in the desert, but we had a really good time. It was a really special production.
And I bet your favorite part was holding the crossbow.
Wait, what?
The crossbow?
Yes.
I bet that was your favorite part of opening it. And
No, you know what? It's sort of crazy because people early on, I had these roles where like I was the one to survive, or somebody who's the toughest, or who can endure a lot of things. And I really like those kinds of stories in people. It's something I try to get through tough times myself. So it's really nice when I have a character who kicks ass. Too, the crossbow, but I just fake it. I don't know how to use a crossbow. They just make me look good. There's like professionals on the set, and they'll show you how to hold things the right way. Yeah, and then I pretend.
All right, appreciate the question, man.
Well, thank you for that. And here.
Thank you.
How you doing? Name and question.
My name is Melina, and my question is, how was your experience filming Natural Born Killers? It's one of my favorite films from you.
Natural Born Killers was like 5 movies in one because we traveled all over. We traveled in New Mexico, Illinois, in the prison. Yeah, we worked in a real-life running prison where they staged riot sequences with the inmates. That was Oliver Stone's idea. But they had good behavior, so they could play, act. It was actually therapeutic. I think it's therapeutic.
So real prisoners were.
Yes, in some of the scenes, and it was really profound. This movie, we would go like in a caravan, we were like the traveling circus. We were like in Taos in New Mexico. But to answer your question, that role was very special because I listened to music. Oliver Stone turned me on to what's his name? Who does Leonard Cohen, Patti Smith, 9 Inch Nails. I mean, the soundtrack alone, I felt like the movie had a hybrid of everything. It was like a message that was very anti-mainstream media, and then also really wild. But it was really positive, very hard, difficult experience, just because it was a lot of hard work, long hours. And I had walking pneumonia by the end of it, and I made it through. Yeah, it was tough.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I defied the odds.
No, but we're very glad to have you because, I mean, you made it, and here we are. We have you in our town, in our city, RGV. Anyways, name and question, please.
My name is Jadine, and my question is, what out of your whole acting career, what was your favorite role to play?
Oh, I didn't mention another one was the other sister. Oh, that was so sweet. I could almost cry. It was so special to me. That's Carla Tate. And for me, this was this young girl's fight for her own independence. And she's handicapped in some ways, but very high functioning. And it was loosely based on the producer's sister. And for me, the way I created this role was my niece was 2 at the time, and she was just learning things, and I would just watch her. So sometimes people who are like this, they are more like children. And so she reminded me a lot of my niece. And it was really nice to play this person so filled with love and determination, because those are the 2 main ingredients for that personality. And I find different characters have different ingredients that are more strong than others. Yeah.
All righty, thank you so much.
Thank you.
How we doing, sir? Name and question, please.
I'm Chad Dellis, and I have a statement, and it might lead to a question. The movie that I really discovered you at, because I work with high school special education for the last 23 years. So I've always had a compassion for people with disabilities. And I remember on What's Eating Gilbert Grape, that movie, I remember Johnny Depp, remember it was you, it was Johnny Depp was driving, it was you in the middle, and then Arnie, which is Leonardo DiCaprio, was in the truck. Remember, all three of you?
Yes.
And Johnny Depp was concerned that Arnie was being obnoxious because he was handicapped. He goes, he's sorry. He goes, he doesn't have to be sorry. I'm not sorry. Are you sorry? He's not sorry. In other words, you're comfortable. You express you were comfortable with being with him, and you were good to him. And then another time when you met his mom, and she was
both these times is me. I improvise that because that's how I would feel. I don't like people to feel different than. I like them to be comfortable with who they are and how they express themselves, even if it's a little bit different than others.
But I remember his mom saw you because she met you. She was in the bedroom, laying in the bed, and she saw you. Goes, "This is my mom," and she looked at you kind of like she was going through a lot, and she goes, "I haven't always looked like this," and you go, "Neither have I."
Yeah,
and you
she
gave
said,
her, and
I
you
haven't
said it with
always
sincerity.
been like this, and I said, I haven't always been like this.
Yeah, you said it with sincerity, like you were being real, like you had maybe an experience in the past in your real life that you were trying to relate to because you were real, and I like that. It showed compassion, and I think, and just now when I was hearing you talk, you said you have compassion for special populations, people that are different, people that face challenges, and that verified the impression I got why I'm here today.
Thank you.
Because that touched you, because I have people that are handicapped in my family.
Oh,
so
thanks.
that really touched me that you have feelings for those kind of people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
God
that.
bless you. You're wonderful.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
How we doing here? Name and question.
That was so hard to follow. Yes. Hi, my name is Teresita. I actually teach at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. So any of my students out here, you all get extra credit for coming. My question is, it actually is related to What's Eating Gilbert Grape and also The Other Sister. Because when I think about your work, obviously your new work is fantastic, but I look back so much on your other work. Also, incredibly underrated film of Mixed Nuts. I love that movie. It is freaking hilarious. And also kind of deals with mental illness, deals with, these topics that we've been talking about. And I want to know, do you ever watch some of these older films and it almost feels like you're looking at a different person? Speaking of like, I haven't always been how I've been, or I haven't always been this person. What is it like to look back on your old work and how it's affected, fans, but also how it's changed or had added meaning throughout these generations?
Well, I sort of think when you create things, you let go of it and you give it to others, and then it belongs to them. So people take these characters, and when I hear that it means something to others, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it, because for me, it's you do things for the experience, not so much the outcome. Or this is what I try more in my life now, being older. You just really try to give everything you can to the moment and not get lost in expectations. And that way you'll have a better time. But for these old roles, earlier on, yes, when I would do these conventions and there would be all these pictures initially, I was like, oh my God, it's like, because I'm 51 now, so it's like signing yearbook pictures in a way. I don't know if you would spend time looking at old pictures of yourself. Yeah. You have to try not to get in your head. Of course, my eyes look less tired when I'm 19. Oh, thank you. Oh, believe you me, I'd rather have the way I feel now. I'll take it over anything. But when I don't really watch old things I'm in, but if I do, I just remember, sometimes I remember what was going on that day. Like in Dusk Till Dawn, there was a time we had dust storms and we all had to hide in some shelter, and I was hiding with Clooney, we're waiting till all this dust came, and it was historically hot. So I just remember little elements we all went through. And I have that on so many movies. There was this little a movie I had 2 scenes in called Due Date with Zach Galifianakis. Wait, is it Due Date? Yeah, Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey. And the only time I ever almost lost it by laughing when another performer was, when it was Zach Galifianakis was acting, and I almost was gonna die laughing and ruin his take. You know, they're filming him, and because he was so funny. So like I remember that with the scene we shot, and when you saw it live, it was even more funny than in the movie. So stuff like that. I have just memories with each thing I do.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Yeah,
I believe we have 2 more. We're good.
Hello, hi, I'm Michelle. Nice to see you. I just have a question about what is the difference in your experiences between filming for TV shows versus movies, and which one you prefer for your creative expression, I guess.
I very much prefer movies because it's a medium I came up in that I understand a lot more as an actor, which means what I mean by that is but I've done some TV that's similar to film in that you read all the scripts, or you have the script, you know everything from beginning, middle, and end, so you know what's expected of you in the story. Okay. Sometimes, like a Yellowjackets or other TV shows I've done, you only read one script and you sign on to do the show, and then there's 9 more scripts you've not read. They just sort of tell you kind of what will be happening. So inevitably, you're kind of surprised by certain scenes, and by that point, you're locked in. Right. So it's a little bit trickier for me. But other people who came up in TV and they do it, they don't mind it as much. I prefer movies. I also like short commitments because it keeps everything exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I believe we have time for one more question.
Hello.
We can go to it's Pearl Jam over there.
Right.
He's wearing his Pearl Jam shirt.
All right, 2 more questions and then we're all done here.
Hi, my name is Adrian, and I really love you. Your characters touch my heart. I really love all your movies. I just wanted to ask what it was like working with Johnny Depp and Giovanni. I really love What's Eating Gilbert Grape and The Other Sister, all your work. I really love everything, all your roles.
Thank you.
You're a legend. You're a legend.
You guys are so sweet. Wait, I'll answer that. Who's after this? Are we the last?
Yeah, we're the last man.
Thank you so much for coming out, by the way. This is such a big audience. Well, you just mentioned 2 really incredible actors, Johnny Depp and Giovanni Ribisi. Johnny was nothing but like good manners and very sweet, and he was very invested in his role at that time. We shot in Austin, Texas, and that was before a lot of people were going there, so this was like in the early 90s, so that was really fun. And Giovanni Ribisi I've known for a long time. He's almost like a brother to me, so we had a very special experience on The Other Sister, working together. I can't even explain it. We really became those characters and that sweet love story. It's wild when you play people and then they sort of take a life on themselves, and you're playing make-believe, but you're still dealing with magical energy. And so we had a lot of fun playing those 2 characters.
It's amazing.
Thanks.
It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
for coming.
so much. Last question here. How you doing? Name and question.
Hi, Juliette. So nice to meet you.
Thank you.
My name's Tim, and I was wondering, which one of your characters would you say you can relate to like the most?
Relate to the most? I mean, I relate to all of them in different ways because I have to understand their emotional heart, you know? So, like even Yellowjackets, I have to understand that kind of, it almost hurts my chest, like that kind of pain and despair, and like, you know, she's just so gritty. And And then, but who am I like? I always thought was, wait, who did I play recently? Well, it's not out yet. It's very funny. It's not out. It's a comedy. Oh, yeah, we couldn't say these two things I'm doing. I never had to be so secret. I actually cannot say anything, but
Red laser.
you'll hear about them for sure. The other sister was to me my heart and soul because she's full of love and fierce determination and even there's that scene where she's with a dog and she's like, "Hi, puppy." That's basically me. So I don't know.
Thanks so much.
Awesome.
People
Thank you
want it
so
to be
much.
Mallory Knox, but it's okay.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for the questions.
you.
Amazing, amazing crowd.